Welcome, welcome. This is the Coronavirus Central Florida podcast. I'm Maria.
And I'm Melissa. It is April 13th, and we have some updated numbers for you. Here in Florida, we have 21,019 confirmed cases, 499 deaths. Today, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about making sure surfaces are clean. I know we've talked about making sure the doorknobs are wiped down, that you're wiping down the surfaces in your kitchen. But I want you to start thinking about where your feet have been. Updated information is saying that COVID is spraying 13 feet. And I know there's more information coming out on that, so keep an eye out for that. But if it's 13 feet, that's a huge distance. And we need to make sure that we're taking our shoes off before we enter our homes, because we're just moving it around. If you can just imagine like sand on tile. I mean, as you walk around, you're just moving that junk around. So make sure you're taking your shoes off and not tracking things into your home.
Yeah, and there's a lot we still don't know about COVID-19, and I think it is always best to err on the side of caution. I definitely remove my shoes. My whole family does, so I am totally all for this.
Absolutely. I mean, I know that's the normal thing to do, but sometimes when people are carrying loads of stuff and or children, that's sometimes not the first thing on their mind is to kick those shoes off.
And it's not the normal for everybody,
Yeah,
so I think a lot of people don't remove their shoes. So I think it's good to say and bring up, because for those who don't, perhaps this is a good time to start a new practice.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've talked about so much about washing our hands and covering our cough and everything else and not touching our face, but we've not really talked about, our shoes and our feet. So very important to think about stuff like that.
Yeah, and speaking about not touching, we have started to make these beautiful masks. However, I did just want to reiterate that you should also not be touching the face part of your mask after you have worn it in public. So for those who already have your masks, and I hope a lot of you do, have masks out there, once you have worn your mask outdoors, don't touch the face part of it again. And Melissa and I made a couple videos, which will be on our social media pages, showing you, some tips on how to put on and remove the masks.
Right. And if they're washable, definitely be washing those things as well. So be careful where you're sitting those down at. A couple things I want to bring up is that, well, first of all, the police department in Orange County came out to Nemours Medical Center, and they went to the Lake Nona VA Medical Center to show support for the healthcare professionals that are out there helping fight COVID. And it was very, very touching. We'll put up some video on our social media page about this, because I did go out and I did record this. And I have to tell you, I was moved, because they got out of their vehicles, they saluted. It was very, very touching, because they were showing appreciation to the healthcare professionals. And I wanted to bring that up. But there's a lot of people in the community that are showing love for the healthcare professionals. And one of which is Sprint is offering premium features for no extra cost. So if you guys have Sprint, maybe reach out to them and say, hey, bump me up to premium, because they're doing that. And that gets you free Amazon Prime and Hulu and different things like that at no cost to you. And I heard that AT&T is doing something as well.
Yeah, so AT&T nationwide will be providing 3 months of free AT&T services to all healthcare providers, so nurses, doctors, EMTs. Please go on the AT&T website. We'll also have some information on it, but that's 3 full months as a thank you, to show gratitude for the sacrifices that are being made every day on the forefront.
Starbucks has given away free coffee to first responders. That includes hospital staff, nurses, doctors, paramedics, firefighters, and the police department. So that's wonderful. And they're doing that until May 3rd. And then for nurses out there, Crocs is giving away a free pair of Crocs to you. Now, there's like a daily limit that's out there. So if you can't get it today, like today I went on there and they'd already met their daily limit, so I can't get mine. But I'm going to try again tomorrow and see if I can get on there. But go to crocs.com. It's right there at the top. and they're showing appreciation for nurses right now. So that's pretty awesome.
That's fabulous. That's very encouraging. So that's always appreciated. And Melissa, thank you. You know, personally, you work in the healthcare industry as well. So thank you for your sacrifice. One thing I did want to bring up, and I don't know if you have any other goodies to share, but I did want to just mention that Osceola County has passed a mandate in effect as of last night at midnight, so starting today, where people have to wear face masks in public. Obviously, this is really great, you know, just for going that extra step of protecting yourself, protecting others. And right now, there is a list on the Osceola website of who doesn't have to wear a mask in public. It's, you know, pretty basic. Children under 2, for example, or if your job, you know, requires that you don't wear a mask, if it does interfere. Anyone exercising while observing social distancing is not mandated to wear a mask. So I think it's very encouraging for the county to take that extra step. I do believe Orange County might also follow suit at the end of this week. So we'll see. But, you know, let's not make it so that the counties need to put this in effect. We can make our own personal decisions and decide to, you know, wear a mask.
Exactly. And I actually really appreciate the fact that you brought up that about the 2-year-olds and younger and certain professionals that don't have to, because it's important that people keep in mind that there are individuals that like have, you know, respiratory problems already, that putting something on their face like that could be a problem, could be problematic for those individuals. So maybe if you have respiratory problems, touch base with your primary care provider to make sure that you're safe doing so. And I know a lot of people are putting filters in your masks, and I'm an advocate of that, but be careful with what kind of filter you're using in your mask, because you don't want any stuff in your lungs that shouldn't be there. So make sure you're careful with what you're inhaling all day long. You got to be careful with that. You can't just use any filter. Just because it's made for your appliance doesn't mean it's made for your lungs. Totally different items here. So, and one is very precious. So must protect your lungs, okay? So I have to point that out because that's been bothering me. I've heard a lot of people talking about random filters that they're using. Just be, you know, everybody be careful out there with that.
And a lot of people are making masks. A lot of companies have started to make masks, and you know, everybody's experimenting with different filters. So just be cautious. I think, you know, again, err on the side of caution. If you are not 100% sure, if there isn't a specific, you know, comment as far as medical grade or CDC approved or anything like that, then just be cautious because you could hurt yourself even more. So, good point, Melissa.
Yeah, I mean, it just bothers me. I have an occupational health background, so it bothers me because I see that and I'm thinking, oh, don't use that, you know. So, and I'm not going to advocate for one thing or another because I'm not the specialist either. So, but just be careful with what you're using to protect yourself. And I think people's hearts and their intentions are good, that they're thinking I need to filter this air, but they're not thinking about what's in that filter and how it could harm them. I want to point out that Uber is doing some good stuff too. They're doing 10 million free rides and deliveries. Now, they're helping healthcare professionals not only get to work, but, you know, facility to facility or to their home and to the patient's home. So if you're like doing direct patient care, like home health style, they're helping people get there. They're also doing free rides for seniors and just people in need. So thank you, Uber, for doing that. There is a form for companies if you are needing help with transportation. If you go to uber.com, there is a form on there that you can fill out to get more assistance as well. So
great, very good. Along those lines, another company that's stepping up is Duke Energy Florida. All of May, they will be giving anywhere from 20 to 45% discounts on their services, depending on if it's for your personal home or corporate or business, but everybody's getting a discount. So if you have Duke Energy, make sure that you see that reflected in your bill. So thank you, Duke Energy. Another thing that I wanted to mention quickly is LOSEY Law, L-O-S-E-Y. I apologize if I didn't pronounce that correctly, but they are offering pro bono services. So absolutely free legal assistance to small businesses who need assistance applying for those state and federal loans that we've heard are so difficult to apply for. So here's some free legal assistance.
Yes, I've heard that people have had a really hard time navigating through that system. Very, very intelligent people having a hard time navigating through that system. So yeah, reach out to them. That's wonderful that they're doing that. Something I want to note is that I'm sure a lot of people have heard that you have 6 months no student loan payments. Now that doesn't mean that the interest doesn't continue to accrue just because you're not having the payments. But I want you to keep in mind that you may want to reach out to your lender to make sure that they fall under that CARES Act, because not all student loans fall under that CARES Act. So don't just ignore your payments, please. Call the lender and make sure that they qualify under that, okay? So.
Great. So a little bit of more fun things to do. I wanted to mention the Impress Ink company. They make t-shirts. They're selling t-shirts for $25 right now, specific to restaurants local in the area. $10 will go directly to that business. $2 will go to Second Harvest Food Bank, and the rest of the money actually goes directly to supporting the staff. So we will be putting the link on that, and that's a great contribution every way around. The entire $25 will be used greatly in the neighborhood.
It sounds like a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely. What other fun things did you have, Melissa?
Wow.
You had a lot today.
I had a lot of fun little things, but I wanted to bring out the updates for the testing centers because there's a lot more coming out. Osceola County has several, but they're not drive-through. The convention center opens at 9 o'clock. They're now doing 400 max a day, and that's the Orlando Convention Center that we all, you can't miss that thing. UCF has partnered with Adventis Biolabs, and if I'm saying their name wrong, then I apologize. It's not Advent, it's Adventis Biolabs, and they are setting up a Garage A at UCF at, well, I'll put the address on our social media so I don't bore you guys on here, but they're opening up from 9 to 5 and they're doing a max of 250 a day, but that's by appointment only. So if you want to get an appointment with them to be tested, call 855-282-4860. The Florida Department of Health in Orange County also has other sites that are open, but it's by appointment only as well, 8 to 5. Call 407-723-5004. In Brevard County, I'm just going to spread out a little bit. I know we're Central Florida, but they're family too. Brevard County, they're doing testing over there for free. There's 3 different sites. There's a Melbourne site, a Vieira site, and a Titusville site. If you want to get an appointment to be tested for free over there, it's 321-454-7141. Volusia County is partnered up with Advent Health at the Daytona International Speedway, and they're doing testing over there from 9 to 1. So lots of testing options for everybody out there.
That's great. The more testing, the better, just to get a good handle on COVID-19. And lastly, on my part, just wanted to announce that Chefs for America Orlando will be feeding everybody and anybody who needs a free meal this Thursday from 1:30 to 4 p.m. We'll be sharing that link. That's it for me. Melissa, anything else you wanted to add?
I do have something to add. First, I just want to say, please donate to the pantries. Please, please, please donate to the pantries. Anything is something, okay? A lot of hungry people out there. We got to focus on our community. Heart of Florida United Way. Love United Way. They're now doing virtual volunteering. So if you go to the hfuw.org, you can sign up to do virtual volunteering. And this is anything from translating help to mentoring youth. But what I love the most is that you can go on and communicate and talk with elderly that are lonely, they're stuck in their homes, and literally just talk to people. If people are talking about how bored they are being at home all day and that this sucks, okay, then sign up and be a volunteer and make a friend with a senior citizen who will probably absolutely adore you like their child. by all means, sign up, please. That was
That's great. I
my
love it.
favorite thing I've seen lately. I was just like, I love it, love it.
I love it. I love the connection because even though we're separate, we have to stay together. Well, that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been the Coronavirus Central Florida podcast, and I'm Maria.
And I am Melissa. Please stay safe and please continue to social distance from each other because it is making an impact. So please keep doing it. Thank you, Florida.